What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to our part two of three parts of our Terrifier retrospective. I apologize. The last video of part one got cut off. Pretty much, we are just running down a little things. So, pretty much, part one was a good starting point of this series, and this is where it starts to go into the more mythological side of Terrifier. We're getting a storyline now of Art being the ultimate evil, being controlled by the pale girl demon, and Sienna coming back and being for the good side. So we'll get more into where we think it's going to go in part three. So we'll just kick it right in. Part two for me, I think is still my favorite. I love the storyline. I love the kills are a lot better. The gore is a lot better. The storyline's a lot better. It's just great. Where we left off with Art the Clown after part one, we pick up in part two at the morgue and how Art is resurrected, and we get some more gore scenes before he disappears again for a while. We do see there is a time jump. There is a time jump from the beginning to the time period now, which is a year, because they do reference it, saying it is a year since the county massacre, the county Miles massacre, or Miles County massacre with Art the Clown. So we did get into that. So I'm going to pass it right over again to Jedi Master Grady, because again, this is his first time watching this series. So what did you think about Terrifier 2?
Holy fuck.
Right?
Man, it took everything that part one did and just doubled it right on top. All the gore, all the crazy kills, everything. First, I want to start off with I need to find out what kind of laundry detergent this man is using. Because
absolutely,
right at the start, man, he throws all these bloody ass clothes in the washer and they just come out
perfectly white.
Pristine. So that's the one thing I need to know, man. What kind of fucking laundry detergent you using, Art? Because you gotta start sharing the secret, man.
Absolutely. I want to make sure if there's any blood on my shirt, I want to make sure I can get it out just like he did.
But man, they start digging into the story about Sienna and Jonathan's father, and the visions that he's having, and they show his sketchbook where he's got drawings of Art the Clown and all the people who died in the first one, essentially, and he's been dead before even those killings happened.
Absolutely.
And then you got the news articles from that massacre, and then the one from the little girl that you see who becomes the pale faced demon. But I think they did a phenomenal job with this. I can't wait to dig in to see more of the story behind what
100%
Sienna and Jonathan's father saw, and everything behind that. Some amazing kills in this one, especially
absolutely.
It's still a small budget, but still a little bit higher than the first one. So the bedroom scene, you actually get to see some live, like her face getting cut right through the eye.
Yo, that moment that happened, you were just like, oh, I was like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was, the special effects are phenomenal. I mean, like, top notch. Like, you would never even know that this was a B movie or a low budget movie. Like, it's absolutely phenomenal. The acting by all of the cast, phenomenal. Honestly, there's not much bad to say about the movie.
No,
really.
It was great in every fucking way.
The soundtrack was even on point, like, throughout the whole thing. So, I mean, I can't wait to see Terrifier 3 coming up next. I can't wait to give you guys a review for that, but absolutely recommend this movie. Phenomenal. They're starting to build on the story on top of the first one.
Which is one of the biggest problems that everybody said of part one was, yeah, it was a run-of-the-mill copy and paste slasher, and there's no story. Well, now we're starting to get the story.
Yeah.
Little by little. And I trust Damon Leone.
I think the first one was just the blood and gore to bring in the fucking horror fans.
100%.
And then they're like, all right, here's the story behind how this happened. And you're like, hell yeah. Like, give me more.
Absolutely. 100%. I will say one thing about this movie. Again, we're starting to get the religious tones of this story of Sienna being the Valkyrie warrior princess and everything with the sword to Art being the ultimate evil with this pale girl, even though I know a lot of people that said 3, and we'll get into this more when we get into 3, of, oh, there was no pale girl in part 3. That's bullshit. I love the pale girl. Literally, the pale girl wasn't real.
And all you have to do is watch the post-credit scene for Terrifier
Exactly.
2, and you can see that she enters the body of Victoria because the eyes.
Yes.
When she looks at Sienna at the end, and her eyes turn yellow.
Yep.
And then she looks back at Art's head as she walks away with it, and they go back to normal.
And they'll get more into it the more the story goes on. One thing I do like is now Art has his champion. He has that demon powering him and giving him his pretty much can't kill him. So we do see, and this isn't, if you watch part 2, this isn't she survived, okay? She died. She drowned in that water tank. All of a sudden, something
in that sword brought her back, man.
I don't even think it's a sword. I think it's the same thing with the beginning of end of part 1, where you got the electricity and Art comes back. I think that's the same thing with Sienna coming back in the end of this one. I think it's more, there's a bigger part for the heavenly side to take on the devilish side for Art. And I think that's where we're going to go. We're going to get into part 3 in a few minutes. And then we'll round this review up, this retrospective up. The end of the third one, when we do our third video, we're going to give where we think and our opinions of where this story is going to go. I have a lot of opinions and where I think it's going to go. And if you watch the movie, it looks like it's leading that way. I'm not going to say yet until we get to the third one, so we see where we're caught up.
They can always throw you a curveball, You never
Exactly. So we're going to do it like last time, our favorite kill. I think my favorite kill in this one, everybody loves that bedroom scene because that bedroom scene goes on a long time. I have to say, though, my favorite kill is the shotgun blast to the face of the mom. And then getting fed mashed potatoes. Fucked up.
Face,
It's fucked up. And my morbid humor, I just laughed. As soon as I saw that the first time, I was like, it's freaking great. All right, so that's my favorite kill. I'm going to pass it on to you. What was your favorite kill of part 2?
So, I think the bedroom scene is done the best in terms of special effects and everything.
Oh, by far.
But I want to say my favorite kill, and I mentioned this during the movie, is when he... you don't even see the kill or anything, but he cuts off the mom's head, and then he's using it as a fucking trick-or-treating bowl for the kids that he's passing out the candy, and I think that's an amazing concept. I think that is just absolutely fucking phenomenal. So,
absolutely.
Even though you don't see the kill, I think that might be my favorite one.
Hell yeah. But so that is our review for part 2. We're going to get into part 3, and then we're going to come back with the end of this retrospective. Stay tuned, and as always, stay creepy.